Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happening. This will go out in moments after we drop it.
Oh my God.
After, because it's almost midnight now.
10:15 on Sunday.
Right, on Sunday night. And so many things.
First of all, and I had to just sit and watch someone fall asleep. I just realized I've spent a significant part of my life watching someone fall asleep, like for the last 11 years.
Are you speaking of your loved one?
No, yeah, my child. Just
Yeah,
like
your son?
This is so boring, and I do it every fucking day.
You don't think he's an angel while he sleeps? It's just him falling asleep and you getting it.
I love it when he's asleep.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, he's great when he's asleep.
Sure.
It's, being a parent is pretty awesome when they're in a deep sleep.
And
Because
you're
you can
like-
just gaze upon them without
and you're like,
being
look at
interrupted.
that. He has my eyelashes, or whatever what somebody does when they have genetic offspring. Anyway,
Wow, that was really tender.
it was super tender. I got a lot of emotion around having and not having kids. So I did a bunch of sets tonight. I did 2 sets. Kier Sultanovich and I drove around together. I was telling you, we did the open space over by Cantor's, and
Love
then
that.
we went over to the wine shop in Atwater Village.
Yeah.
Owena Vina. That's not anything like how that would be pronounced. And
Is
but
it
it was-
pink? Is it kind of pink?
it's got a lot of, remember in the 80s, the AIDS art that was sort of cartoony?
Yeah. What you mean,
But-
Keith Haring?
That's what I'm thinking of.
AIDS art. Oh my God! It's
It
Keith
was a
Haring.
benefit for AIDS.
Oh my God!
Did a lot of benefits for AIDS.
Oh my
How am I the villain? What just happened? See,
Ugh.
why do I have a career at all?
AIDS
See,
art.
Let's talk about Norm. No, but the thing is, it's no, well, whatever. They put a bunch of posters up that remind me of it, but aren't anything like it. Speaking
Okay.
of me digging a hole even deeper.
Knock
'Cause
off,
it's nothing-
knock off AIDS art.
And see, you're never alone. You want to offend the world? There you go. Hang out with people. So yeah, so I got to do 2 sets. But here's the weird thing: is before I went upstate to visit my mother-in-law, I did 2 sets on Friday, and the first one was at the West Side Comedy Theater in
Yeah.
Santa Monica,
Yeah.
off the 3rd Street Promenade.
Right.
And
I love that place.
it's great. The parking lot is under construction, but
Oh,
the
the one
first hour,
behind it is?
yeah.
So it's closed?
No, you just got to go on the 5th floor,
Oh yeah.
and so I'm lazy. So, but the first hour and a half is free, and
Yeah, it's cheap.
it's cheap. And this, West Side, it usually pays the producers.
Okay.
I don't know if it pays everyone, but I've done the show there, and I've seen people do paperwork with the door guy.
I've done many shows without being paid there.
And I've never been paid before. This one paid.
oh.
I got $20, and it was a delight. So,
And-
and I
30 years in show business?
right, $20 later.
Awesome.
And so, but the crazy thing is I didn't like the set at all, because I got up,
Yeah.
and I was working. And there was a guy in the front row. This has happened to you. This has happened to you. This happened to everybody.
Yeah.
There's a dude in the front row. He's a giant, grumpy dude.
Right.
He's got what looks to be. He looks very fit. Like he's just a big buff dude.
Right.
And then his wife or girlfriend is very pretty. They're both dressed up. It's Friday night in Santa Monica. They have another friend, another young woman. All 3 of them are very good looking. It's all working out for them. Sit-ups, genetics. It's great. So every joke, he shakes his head.
Oh.
Shakes me off. Nope. Like he's
Is
the
it a
catcher.
laugh? Is it a laugh shake, or is it I don't
It's
approve shake?
he's smiling and I don't appreciate. He's like, I'm laughing against my will. Shake.
No.
And he's shaking it off. It's infuriating.
Yeah,
me.
of course.
The 2 women he's with are laughing their asses off.
Right.
And it's a delight.
Yeah.
His wife, the 3rd shake, she notices he's shaking it off and shuts her down. And so
Wait, he shuts her down?
Yeah, so it shuts her down.
Okay,
So
I
she
see.
notices his
mood.
mood.
Disapproval.
Yeah. And so she just
That's why I
smiles at
don't
me.
want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be dampered And
by some
head
partner's
shaking bearded
bullshit.
guy, right?
Yeah. And so anyway, I just got so angry, and I got a pretty funny line out of it. I was like, "You guys don't." It was something along the lines of, and I don't know that I'll ever do it again, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, you don't like the political stuff? Well, then fucking vote." And
You'll do that again.
I should do that again, right? It's because then I will write dick jokes, and my life will be all of our lives will be better.
Can't wait to not be on Twitter.
Yeah, so it'll be great. So so the set was irritating,
Right.
and so I was like, oh, I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it went very well. And then the second set, I went over to, oh, son of a bitch. Where was the second set? It was great, though. I freaking murdered, had
Yeah.
a lovely set, enjoyed
Yes.
myself thoroughly.
Yes.
And have forgotten the wonderful place that allowed me to do stand-up. Oh, the American Legion.
Oh,
You know the
right
American-
near the Hollywood Bowl?
Yeah, Tamara Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
It was great.
It can be a bar gig sometimes.
It was a bar gig,
Yes.
and it was funny because Will Miles was there,
Yeah.
and Gethard.
Chris Gethard?
Chris Gethard
Oh,
was there.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a great lineup. Everybody did wonderful. Names I'm spacing, but everybody was great. And and that set went really well.
Yeah.
And there was I had that moment that you have mentioned.
Yes.
Where there were two women in the audience who, when I got up, they were like, "That's a woman." And they were like, "Oh, cool."
Of course, at the American Legion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were kind of, and then I was doing and they were just bouncing up and down on their chairs. I'm like, oh, cool. Women psyched.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I felt, I don't usually notice that, so it was cool.
I did. So Thursday, was it? No, it was Wednesday. I had a set at the Zephyr Theater, which is
yeah.
this little tiny theater. I think it's on Melrose, and it's really fun. It was a fun room.
Yeah.
And I had, once I booked that, I had canceled another spot at the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And because I thought they were competing spots. And so I canceled it way in advance, no guilt. And then I got an email from the producer. Hey, you're on at 9:30. I'm like, I fucking emailed you too much. Like I never email in time, and
Right.
this time I jumped right on it before my procrastination could kick in. And he didn't respond to that email.
What?
So then I get another email. Here's the lineup, and I'm like, and I could do both these spots. So then I kind of went out to the clubhouse, and it was more like there were some San Francisco acts, there.
Yeah.
Like Lincoln Earl was there, and then there were some guys in the audience that were San Francisco comics that like.
Oh, right. So it was a pile of San Francisco comics?
Yeah, like from
back
the
in day?
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know if I want to do jokes in front of these guys, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, there's other people here too. It was fun. It was
It
fine.
ended up being fun?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome.
And then this weekend I went, my body's in a weird space right now. So I took my JetBlue red eye on Friday night.
Yeah.
And got in, and then I did Lane Moore's Tinder Live.
Oh, how was that?
It's
With John
really
Fugelsang?
fun.
Oh,
It
was
kind of makes me want to go on Tinder. But no.
Oh my God, so close. Wow, that was almost 2 full beats
But-
of you going, no.
And
Wait.
weren't you tempted to jump in and interrupt? And you didn't. Look at you. We're both growing
We're
as
growing
humans.
as people. It's hilarious.
So it's really fun.
What-
and
but
so
these
these guys
know
are
they're-
on live, right? They don't know they're being they're part of a
Mocked?
live show. So they're
Okay.
just matching with her, and then she starts texting with them, and we all just start commenting and making fun. Gentle fun, not
not
like
brutal?
not like, oh, that guy looks like a rapist or whatever,
Yeah.
just like fun. Especially when they're they write their own hobbies and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
So
you're
you're just
giving us
riffing
stuff
on it.
exactly,
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and that was the only show I did. It was in
New York?
Brooklyn. Yeah,
Oh, that's right, because you...
I did a
a
podcast
project.
beforehand.
Okay.
I had been avoiding. There's a podcast that Jordan, oh my God, Sperber does
Okay.
called "What's the Grief," and it's a grief podcast. And I had avoided it for a long time
Yeah.
because.
You were grieving.
No, I just felt because his was based off of his brother dying,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, that's 10 times worse than my dad dying, right? And I didn't want to. I'm like, I can't. Yes, I'm very competitive.
Well, I don't know why 2 years later, the big reveal. Yes.
He won.
Yes.
No, so I guess I just avoided that for a while, but then we did it near Littlefield, which is where Tinder Live is performed, and it was fun. It was good. It was really good. And then I just took the old train back to Harlem and stayed up for a couple hours. My sleep was all off, and then I had the 7:30 flight out this morning. And I got back here around 12 because it was delayed, of course. And then I took like a 5.5 hour nap. So
Nice.
I'm both tired and awake right now.
Yeah, that is quite. This is you know what? Today I spent. My mother-in-law's looking for. They're big fans of getting a new car. So.
By the way, we never say upstate when we're going up in California.
I know.
That's a very Midwest thing. Okay?
I'm the only one who likes to refer to. I actually
Fresno
like
is not upstate. Okay?
I'm not going to Fresno.
Whatever it is.
But I like to call it upstate because the state is huge. The state of California is enormous.
That's not how we do it. Here.
I know that's not.
I need you to
say
stop.
the for. Well, now we know I won't.
I say
hilarious.
what?
It's the 405.
Oh
not
yeah,
you.
the 405. Yeah, when people weren't doing that, that was very.
It was disturbing,
jarring.
It was jarring.
Yes.
Well, let me just say that. So I went looking for cars with my mother-in-law today.
Okay.
And at one point, I was riffing a little too hard with the sales guy.
Oh.
And Andy was like, "She's kidding." And I was like, "Oh, shit." And I said, "Did I riff too much?" He said, just a little bit. Just pretty good save there in the end. I said, "That was you." So slowing down the thing. Okay, so now do you want...
I want the gossip.
You want the gossip.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about Norm.
Louis C.K. has supposedly a new girlfriend.
Interesting. Well, that's going to happen, Jackie.
I'm told.
When you're an attractive, middle-aged, overweight guy who masturbates in front of people, ladies are going to flock to that. They can't stop themselves.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. Is it a comic?
Uh-huh.
No! What? Wait, let me see.
And is it one of the new young feminist icons?
What? Let me give
New
you
York.
the name. No.
Yes.
No.
And
What?
you know what Kira Sultanovich says?
No, that can't be true.
That's what she said. She
No.
said, "This is a ploy.
What?
This has got to be a ploy." And I was like, "What kind of ploy?" And she was like, "It's a Tom Cruise beard," is what she said it was. And I was like, "I don't know.
Why would she
I know
do
an
that?
idiot. That woman would not, as far as I know.
That can't be
true. She's not that desperate.
No,
But-
not at all.
Wait, what are you saying is the truth? That she's an idiot
That
early 30s?
she would need, that she would
or
need
that's a
or
ploy?
want, or that's why would she participate in any of this? No, I
I would
can't.
like to
I
think
refuse.
The source that I have got it from two different people and something in the New York Times called The Blind something, which I don't know what that is.
No, that's not the New York Times. That's the New York Post.
New York Post, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need that. That
I would like that to be
That's-
confirmed. Or and the thing is I'm glad we're not saying it if it's a publicity stunt. Screw that.
that can't be true. I can't.
It's
can't
hard to
handle
process
it.
that.
I can't
But
handle
what
it.
I didn't like was that she made me guess. And so I'm like naming all of these women comics that I
was
love.
like, Kate Willett?
Exactly. And I was like, no, she's going out with a Minneapolis comic.
Okay.
Raj Mehat?
Okay.
I forget his name. What? No. Yeah. And or I'm getting his first name wrong. Anyway, but the always likely. This is shot in the dark.
This is
But-
Wisconsin.
I was like,
we're in
Beth-
shambles right now.
Yeah, it was like I was glad to
Wow.
hear that it wasn't Beth Stelling. I was glad to
yeah.
hear that it wasn't. Here's the people I was psyched that it wasn't. Kate
Right.
Berlant.
Right.
I was psyched that it wasn't Amy Schumer.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, she's married.
Yeah,
She
people
married
are.
a chef.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. You know, and Rachel Feinstein, did I tell you she married a firefighter?
I saw that.
Oh, my God.
I saw the pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, what's happening?
Wow.
And I didn't know how to respond to that because
And Nikki Glazer is on Dancing with the Stars.
I saw that.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I know it. It's just, yeah, and she said she doesn't dance. She's never danced. I said, well, then it's going to be perfect.
Well,
Maybe she's comedic.
Yeah. I mean, she was talking about I didn't know she had Lyme disease.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, she had mentioned that on Twitter. I don't know.
That's
It's
a lot.
Sometimes I've been popping in on her feed and just finding out a lot about her recently. Maybe she's opening up more, or maybe I just hadn't seen those tweets before.
Right, maybe it was you just hit a stream of some real... Yeah.
Glazer River.
Yeah.
So, Norm,
So that's that.
That's bananas.
That's banana land.
Please
anyway,
don't let that be true.
I want that. I want it to be not true on so many levels. But Norm
Yeah.
is here's the thing about Norm Macdonald. First of all, has he been? I meant to check. Has he been doing stand up this whole time?
I think he does gigs. I don't think he's.
Yeah,
doesn't-
he's like Stephen Wright, just been working the road and just.
Yeah, he's not like popping in and doing Is he popping in at the store? I haven't heard that, but
No, I
I'm
haven't
not
heard
at
of
the
him
store,
popping
so-
at either of the.
Yeah.
But I think he does small theaters. Is what. Okay.
Oh.
And I think he's. And I
Oh,
think
cool.
10, 12 years ago, he was doing his own theaters and stuff. And so I think he's always been doing the road for a
Yeah.
long time. He's like, I think of him as sort of like Stephen Wright in the way that we don't hear a lot about Stephen Wright. But
Yeah.
Stephen Wright is still working.
Yeah. Right.
Dude's
right.
still writing jokes and working the road.
Yeah.
Anyway, so somebody asked Norm Macdonald his opinion about Nanette. And my favorite, did you see me post? Because my favorite line from that
interview.
was, I haven't seen it. I didn't want to watch it because I didn't want to comment, but I read about it, and so here are my comments.
I know.
I was like, that is such a stand-up comic way. I mean, and Fallon kicked. He wouldn't have him on. He was like, "Fool me once, I'm an
Well,
idiot."
not because of Nanette, because he had more sympathy for
Roseanne.
the people that lost their careers because they deserve to,
Right.
than the people who lost their careers because they were blackballed by people's management.
Yeah, wait,
etc.
was it Roseanne and who else did
And
he?
Louie.
And Louie. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh, he was like, because they're his friends, and so
Yeah, here's the thing. Like we're all discovering we're all friends with psychopaths.
Yeah,
and
there are monsters.
We're all going to be in this situation one day, going, I can't believe it. I've and
Right.
You can't talk to someone's friend who's known them for X amount of years and expect to get a reasonable response from them. So you're
Right.
not going to get Norm commenting intelligently on Louie or
And he's
even
not-
Jerry Seinfeld or everyone's like a hands-off like glee kind of thing, and
right. And you want everyone. I mean, except for the fact that I will say this is, and there are comics that I know. Like, if I know a monster,
yeah,
I genuinely don't know that. Like,
same here.
I am acquainted, and I think we would have been friends if we ever hung out a lot. But I knew him well enough to hang out with him a bit. Is Chris Hardwick, and when his thing happened, we talked about it, and I said he sounds like he was a shitty boyfriend to this woman, and to my knowledge, everything got hashed out and resolved and aired out and things happened, right? And people.
You mean he's back?
He's back, of
Yeah,
course. And there is and there's always this talk about redemption and all this talk about how do you fix being an asshole.
Right.
It's very hard to fix being a monster. Like Bill Cosby.
Right.
You don't come back from that.
Right.
And so like if Louis C.K.'s my friend and I find out that he's forcing women to watch him jerk off, that's a line I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back from that. But he's not my friend. I don't know him.
Right.
I've met him a handful of times, and he was always decently polite to me. And
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's also like this thing with Kavanaugh where So today, this woman, she allowed her name to be used, and
Right.
she, described graphically what happened. And did you read it?
I did read it.
It's like, oh yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You've been there in a situation where you're like, okay, I just want to live through this. I just got to get out of
I
this.
just want to live through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She survived.
15 years old,
Yeah.
and either the other dude, whose name is Mark Judge, which is a little extra confusing. His name is Judge, and
Right.
Kavanaugh's trying to be a judge. It's like, is there enough in the story that's... So he jumped on the two of them either to stop. I couldn't tell if it was a pile-on, like he wanted in on it, or he was trying to stop Brett Kavanaugh from
Right.
doing what he was doing. He seems like he was a blackout drunk.
Oh, the judge guy?
Yeah, Kavanaugh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he drank
Kavanaugh's
a lot.
a blackout drunk?
He was at the time. I don't
Okay.
know, but he's not admitting to anything.
Oh, and but we don't know if Judge was drunk too. Or?
no,
Okay.
nuh-uh. So she said he was. So he probably.
Okay.
They probably got hammered together.
Yeah,
and
they were probably
saw her
all
go
drunk.
upstairs
Yeah.
or whatever. And so now the response, from women today, it was kind of interesting. It was like, oh my God, we have to protect her. Like because in what she wrote is she said, I know what's going to happen to me, and I didn't want to come forward because I didn't want to be slandered like I'm about to be, but I feel like it's important enough to do it.
Right, the Supreme Court. It's
we
incredibly
all,
brave of her.
We all know what she's going through. We all could be in that situation. Like you and I have each had situations where if the person was going to be Supreme Court justice, we would have to say, "Oh, this thing happened."
Yes.
So she happened to have a horrible interaction with somebody who went on to become a potential Supreme Court justice. Well, the rest of us have had guys that go on to work at 7-Eleven or you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like it's
The
her
AutoZone guy. Yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna have to
it's
worry.
her bad luck that
Yeah.
the guy that attacked her when she's a teenager. You can pretty much assume that's going to happen when you're a teenage
She went
girl.
to a private school, obviously. No,
No, but I mean, it's her bad luck that
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
that-
somebody like that.
completely.
So she's coming forward, and she's like our age.
Yeah, and
know?
she's rising to the occasion, which I
and
completely appreciate.
No one
and-
our age, even if you want to say, you want to be famous for being. I mean, that argument is so crazy anyway. But at our age, do we want? No, we don't. No one.
I don't want anyone.
I just want to
telemarketers.
I want to sleep 8 hours a day and smell flowers. Okay, that's all I want out of life now. Oh my God, to have Eric Erickson or whatever fucking red stater is going to come after her is really shitty.
Wait,
but
Norm.
But how it ties back to Norm is how men see these things.
Yeah.
How some men see these youthful interactions, or how male comics who've maybe done, gone to strip clubs with after a show, or they've hung out and done some sort of sketchy shit that might not be
At the
illegal.
condo.
Yes. How they see it is really obviously from a potential perp's point of view.
Right.
And we see it as from potential victims. And I think Norm was really surprised at
To learn.
learn
The learning curve right now is super steep. I'm working on a bit about it with Whitey Magoos and menfolk.
Right.
And decent men can hear it. And I think that Norm heard it. I genuinely do.
I do too. Yes.
I genuinely think
Yes.
Norm Macdonald was like, oh. and you want to shake him and go, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, you're sitting around talking in an interview, it goes a couple hours, right?
God.
And you just start riffing and you can't, sometimes the tone of voice takes you someplace, or sometimes you're just bullshitting and you forget that this is going to be in print and
Yes.
read as if it's a gospel,
Right.
when you were just bullshit.
I was thinking about what will it be? What will someone inadvertently ask me that I will not know about, that I will just express an opinion and will blow up my career? And
Yeah.
I've decided it's Israel. Someone will say, what do you think about Israel? And I won't have enough information, and I'll just blurt something out, and it'll be over. It'll be over, you guys. I'll be doing triple runs if I'm allowed. Anyway.
So yeah, and I know somebody had a DM conversation, and he felt when she explained her point of view a little bit more, he had genuine remorse, and so
And other women comics that know him better than I do
Yeah.
have also come forward and said, you know what, I actually I saw Morgan Murphy's tweet, essentially.
Okay.
And I genuinely respect Morgan Murphy
Yes,
as far
yes.
as, like, she's been in this boys' world kind
Yes.
of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Even more, like, she's been in the writer's room kind of situation.
You were saying she likes sports.
She likes sports a lot, you guys. She knows. Did you know that football can have a tie? I did
She
not.
has multiple TV screens to watch sports. I'm like,
Oh, I
what
saw
is
that.
happening there?
I saw that 3 TV screens. Morgan Murphy's. She should be a comic of the week, but she really doesn't. She might
yeah.
not need the Laurie and Jackie bump.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we at, by the way? 25. Maybe another 5.
But anyway, so she had talked to him, or what did her tweet say?
Her tweet said that she had watched the interviews with him, and and I think she knows him better than I do, because
Probably, yeah.
I've met him, I think, once.
Yeah.
And I've talked to him a little bit on Twitter. But she was like, and she believed him. She, like, it felt like genuine remorse. And I read some of I haven't watched the interviews because I have a hard time watching anything with the talking. I want to read what people said
Yeah.
because it's harder to lie.
Right.
Anyway, but I think that it's real. I genuinely
I do too.
Yeah.
And he also, when he went on Stern, he said, I would have to have
Oh, no.
Down syndrome to think that.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Which
he
is
made
a
that
joke on the fact that you can't say retarded
Right.
anymore. But it's like, oh,
And then-
dude, that's
and
not
then-
the time to do that
No,
joke.
ever.
I love that joke, but that's not the time.
And then he tagged it with "That's my new word, Down syndrome," and you're like, you are genuinely
Comics
killing me,
can't
McDonald.
help themselves.
No, he wants to dig a hole and shove dirt in his own face, and I was like,
Do you think this is because, like, on the one hand, it's Jon Stewart and people have gone to comedians for actual political commentary instead of realizing a lot of comedians are dumb sometimes. I mean, genuinely dumb.
Well.
And shouldn't be sought. Their opinions shouldn't always be sought on some things. Just let them talk about what they talk about.
right? Do not.
That's
That's. Can you hear that? Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'm doing a load. I hope you don't mind. I'm
You're
out of
doing a little
clothes.
laundry.
Yeah.
There you go. Here we are. I think I genuinely think if you ask any comic about any topic, what do you think about the plight of elephants?
Just go,
You
I
can
don't
ask,
know.
I don't know a comic in the world who would say I don't know. I swear to God, they would make up an opinion for anything. Perfect. That can't hurt. It got a little loud. All right.
But those
So-
jeans are going to be clean, man.
You're gonna have clean jeans. I did forget to tell you that the guy at West Side, the comic who followed me, John, and I can't remember his last name, is a very tall blonde guy, very funny. But he got up and he didn't know. Like, I didn't say anything to the giant dude with the wife and the
you
friend.
just you were fuming the entire
I
set?
was fuming around and toward,
Yeah.
but not at. And that guy got up, and one of the first things he said to that guy, to the giant dude in the crowd, he said, "You look like a bully." And
Interesting.
yeah. And he said, "I look like a bully, so I mean, I know what it looks like." You just have that look on your face that goes, I don't know. And I was like, and then I think he was riffing. I don't think it was a bit. He ended up kind of with an interesting premise about, you know how like there's big guys who do jokes about being big and sort of looking intimidating and trying to fight that fight, right?
Right.
It wasn't that bit. He was talking about how he literally, it was sort of that angle about how he has to act around people to make sure they don't think he's going to push them into a locker.
Kamau Bell has a lot of material about that.
Oh, did you read his book?
No, I haven't. I have it. I haven't read it though.
Oh my God, it's so good. And his reveal about sexism
Yeah.
was fascinating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he had this one-man show he was doing up in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And he was looking for feedback, and he had a couple of comics, and he had been sort of lauded
Yeah.
And so he was getting all this positive feedback.
Right. Critically acclaimed.
Critically acclaimed. And then he had an actor-director friend who wasn't a comic watch the tape. And she was like, I like it. No, you're really funny. The sexism was a little weird.
Oh, he had no idea?
He had no idea. He told a story about one of his first experiences with racism.
Yeah.
And he was playing Spin the Bottle or Doctor or something like that with a bunch of other kids. And this little girl, he was like 7. And the little girl wouldn't kiss him or wouldn't play doctor with him, but she would do it with the white kids.
Oh.
And so it was his first experience of racism. But in the joke, he calls her a bitch.
Oh, man.
And his friend
I mean,
goes,
it must have got a good laugh.
well, that's what you're hilarious.
Right.
Because his friend goes,
But
now why would you call her a bitch? She was 7. She wasn't really being a bitch. She was being racist. And he goes, because it gets a laugh. And she said, yeah, but I'm saying it isn't funny. It's sexist. Why do you keep saying it? He said, it's not sexist. It's funny. It gets a laugh. And she's like, no, I know it gets a laugh. What I'm saying is that it's sexist, and if you wouldn't do it, that'd probably be better. And so he changed it to that little bitch. He went to that little doctor, and he said it got the same fucking laugh.
That little doctor?
Yeah, because she was clearly also not a doctor. They were playing doctor.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
So he said he changed the word, and it got just as good of a laugh.
Oh.
And it was the first time he was like, I may not be as awakened on all suits as I think.
It's hard to get woke, man. It takes a while.
The learning curve is real.
Dude, I'm still going through a lot of sets.
Oh, are you still watching tape?
Oof.
Is there some reveals of your own humanity?
Yeah.
Turns out Laurie Kilmartin, human.
Well, here's I had my best friend is gay, right? And that was but we met on a triple run.
Yeah.
And of course that was a setup that was like a premise.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, I've got a gay best friend." Thank you, 10 minutes of material. And to see me starting my mom was so homophobic when she met her, and then I changed it to me being homophobic, and I was just kind of struggling with what to do with it, and because in San Francisco in those days there was a couple gay comics, but they were on mostly a different circuit, except for Marga Gomez and stuff, but then when straight comics are talking about gay people, it was just a little, I'm not gay. But I don't know. I was just trying to do it from a different angle.
And how did it work?
It was just, I was like, oh yeah.
Was it any good?
Yeah. For the time, it's stuff that's for its time was fine, but I would never do it now.
No. But I mean, was there anything there that would work now that you could pull out?
Nah. Nah.
I'm like, there's got to be something in the vault to use. That's what I'm
There's some
saying.
stuff I could use. There's some stuff. As soon as I got,
Start a notebook. I don't understand.
I know I will. But as soon as I got pregnant, I just dropped a ton of material because it wasn't interesting to me anymore.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I could still make that stuff work if I had to. You know,
Yeah.
if I was, do I want to spend my time making things work if I have to? Is that my artistic goal? You know, or is that just filling time?
Well, I mean,
I don't know, or maybe it's just bits that'll make money on Sirius if they get played over and over.
Well,
again.
there's nothing wrong with any of that, except
Yeah.
for that I was thinking that there might be premises, because you were saying that you were looking for new premises, and I'm not saying do a premise. Oh my God, my best friend is gay,
Right?
Because as a premise, that's really been covered. You are correct.
Yes.
And so
It was pretty new in the early 90s, though.
I'm not
I have to tell
right.
you.
You got and certainly in your life, which meant it made sense.
Very early abortion jokes.
Right, and all four.
What?
All four.
All four abortion. I did them all.
You did them all. Had to be done. You know that Keitlinger abortion joke?
Which one?
The one, one
Laura's?
about, yeah.
No,
Laura
what is it?
Keitlinger. It's she's pregnant. don't clap. I'm not keeping it. It's something like that.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
yeah. It's like it's better than that.
Yeah.
Why don't we give her that?
No, that is a great joke, and I think people have done it since then.
Oh, like
including
others?
every pregnant, person.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's it's sort of a go-to. It's in the zeitgeist, I guess, now.
Yeah.
Or it's in the ether.
Hey, when you're pregnant on stage, you gotta
Oh my
toy
God.
with the audience's
I remember the
feelings.
first great pregnant joke I did see was Colleen Cruz in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
She had to be 6-7 months pregnant on stage, and she said, "Clearly, I put out." And that was how she'd open it. But then she didn't do any. She didn't have a lot of material about being pregnant. She was like acknowledged jokes.
Yeah.
Which I kind of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love. It's like when someone's super
Ali
heavy.
Wong, both
yeah.
of her specials barely mentioned that she was like 8 or 9 months
Asian.
pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh, that she's
no,
pregnant.
that she's Asian. No, that she's pregnant.
But it's true too. Like when Asian comics or women comics
Right.
or heavy or anything, right? Or
Yeah.
gay, you're just like, state the obvious. There's the joke about it. Let us move on. I am also a human.
But also maybe you want to go in deeper. So
No. I mean, if you've got material on
Yeah.
it, I don't have a problem with it. But it is always nice
yeah.
when you just speak from.
It's a little less predictable.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they see you with your thing that makes you not white male, everyone's like, "Oh, we're going to hear 5 minutes on your tribe or whatever," right?
Yes, right.
But their 5 minutes on their tribe might be awesome.
Right. Weird. Okay, so this week I only have sets Friday and Saturday, weirdly. I'm doing a web series called Actually. Actually. It's essentially a game show about nerds where nerds are asked many questions.
Yeah.
It's a delightful Dork Forest kind of crossover as far as I'm concerned. And it pays. So
Okay.
it's a little
I'm
web series.
doing a Conan Writer show tomorrow night
Where?
at Flappers.
Monday night?
Yeah. Not sure if the big man's coming or not.
He is tall.
Yeah. He might, but he might not.
But he might not. But it's you and Kylie and everybody?
Yeah.
Super fun.
And then I have I'm doing Bark for Vance
for
Sanders at
I'm doing an escape room for a friend's birthday. So we're going to go to an escape room on Wednesday.
Oh, that's not fun.
I'm not good at them, but it is people love them.
You got to get a spot and get out of that.
Oh my god! No, I actually like the people.
No,
I'm just
no.
really bad at puzzles.
Why do you always got to solve something when you hang out with people? You're either playing games, you're solving a murder, you're escaping from a room. Can't you just fucking hang out?
I think we're also going to go to dinner. Is that something? That's
Yes.
something. It'll be great.
I'm at West Side on Friday.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm in Silver Lake, the bamboo room in Silver Lake. Have you ever done that? And then Saturday
I
I'm doing
haven't.
Dynasty Typewriter, and then a Valley show for Eileen Yang that I don't
that's
know where it
nice.
is offhand.
I'm at Northridge?
No,
Okay.
I don't think it's a Northridge. You got a Northridge set?
Yeah, on Saturday night, and I'm at Flappers for their 5 minute. I'm doing 5 minutes on their birthday show, and then
okay.
heading out to Northridge.
A lot of birthdays.
Yeah,
Did you see there's remember I think we heard there was one of the clubs. There's a club that shall remain nameless.
Oh, I got to do a video for them. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
I don't know.
Oh well.
You're about to slam them, and I
to reveal.
I range you back
You should
with
hold
my
me back.
winking, like, hey,
Well,
you
'cause
could get work there.
Eventually,
Stop
one
it.
day. I know. I totally want to work there too.
I know.
There's so many clubs that I would love to work, and they aren't monsters. They just don't book a lot of women. And you're like, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice if they booked more women, or how about this? Just me.
So you're actually more pro you than pro women. That's understandable.
I'm a human. I'm alive.
I'm going to be at Hilarities in Cleveland Thanksgiving weekend, the Friday
Are you?
through Sunday. Yes.
I'm doing Ottawa and Toronto and Buffalo with Maria the week after next.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lot of flying.
We were going to take the train.
Whoa.
I know, because I think the Toronto thing is JFL 42.
Oh, fun.
So, and I might be doing a Dork Forest, I think, at that one. I might. I asked if Courtney Gilmore could do it. She's a Toronto comic. Do you know her?
No. Mm-mm.
She's. I worked with her. Ian Atlas got me in with her. She might have been a comic of the week one time. She's
I don't
very
think
funny.
so. Well, now we have someone to add to the list.
Right. If
Our
she has
giant
not.
Let's
do comic of the week. By the way,
Yes.
Jessie Johnson.
Yeah.
Jessie, it's a Kyle Clark tossed into the room, and you just worked.
I
with
just
her.
worked with her in Ventura at Levity, and she's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked her up, and I freaking loved her Facebook, her calendar page. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I think she's relatively new, right? Yeah, like probably 5 years in.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is doing gigs that I'm like, it turns
she's-
out Jessie Johnson wants to do stand-up comedy.
She's hustling. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's doing Tulare. She's going to.
Gig, though.
Yeah, you're going to Phoenix. Is that
Wait,
the good one?
Tulare? Where?
At the,
Tulare.
like the
It's up by
in
Visalia.
Tulare in upstate California.
It's upstate California by Visalia.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
where it is. I'm from here, okay? I drive up and down the 5 and 99 my whole life. I know where things are.
Well, there's a gig up there.
Who books it?
I mean, that one's at Barmageddon.
Yeah, Barmageddon.
Jeremiah.
Okay.
That guy Jeremiah, yeah.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
Barmageddon?
Barmageddon. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think that there's some adult beverages being served at Barmageddon? Maybe there's I think there's people giving up, some career drunks sitting at Barmageddon that you could do stand-up comedy
Sure.
I threw up in their alley and then got on stage.
for. Kyle just said that he threw up in their alley and then got on stage. When will he get his own mic? When will it happen? But Jessie Johnson, is it? You said it was
Jet Ski Johnson.
Jet Ski Johnson on Twitter, at Jet Ski Johnson on Twitter. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So she is our comic of the week, you guys. Look for her at Third Space in Phoenix as well, which I've done that once.
I've
as
never
well.
done that. What is that?
It's a Thursday. I've done it before I did Tucson.
Oh, okay.
It's kind
Have you
of a
been
nice
back to
routing.
Tucson recently?
I haven't, and I had to cancel my Tucson gig with Maria so I could work with Brian Regan.
Oh.
Because Regan's doing, we're doing Canada and all of Minnesota.
Oh, fuck.
So Duluth, Rochester, and Minneapolis, plus I think Winnipeg.
How
Yeah,
so
that's
many?
where Duluthans
Is that
are.
5 nights?
It's 4 nights, but it's probably 5, and we'll probably base out of Minneapolis because Rochester's only a little over an hour south.
Yeah.
But Duluth is 2 hours north. Wow. And
So you're just you're gonna get a hotel in Minneapolis and drive every day?
yeah, but Winnipeg is 5 or 6 hours, so we'll probably start in Winnipeg. I forget what it is, but it'll be neat.
That sounds great.
It's the beginning of November.
How much
so
time do you do?
I just do 20s.
And then
15 to 20s.
Is this after Vietnam?
It's right after Vietnam.
So are you going to do sets in Vietnam to stay sharp?
I'm doing one in Vietnam and one in Bangkok.
Oh
at
my
Thailand.
God, that's awesome!
Yeah, and I'm going to work on. I've decided. His crowd is so different.
Yeah.
That I'm like, but I want to do some of the new stuff because you want Brian Regan to see the new stuff.
Sure. But is he watching it all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He just
Then you
stands
do.
on the side.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, he stands on the side because he wants to read the room
Right.
and get sort of the feel of that. Did I tell you that I think I did tell you because it happened right now. It was devastating to me. Is
Yeah.
the night before Carnegie Hall, I did. I was supposed to do 15 to 20. I did 12 because I was so in my head about Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
I went short, and as I introduced him and we passed, he went, "You went a little short."
Oh!
And I was like, "I am so sorry," and I apologized, and he was like, "It's okay, but what?" Because I usually push the 20.
Oh, that's funny. So
And-
he wasn't ready.
Right, so he was like, "What the fuck? What's going?" He did not say "what the fuck" because he's Brian Regan. He thinks it. He's alive. Well, he's on. Well,
yeah.
he swears occasionally, but and he's on that show on Amazon, the Milk Show.
What?
It's called Louder Milk. It's actually called Louder Milk.
I don't know what it is.
It's like a dramedy, I think.
Oh.
And he, as far as I've only seen one episode of it. They've got him cursing like a sailor,
That's
it's
awesome.
essentially it's fun for the writers.
Yeah.
They're like, let's make Brian Regan. It's sort of like the same 45-year-old guys who are sitting in a room like, let's make the two actresses make out. And let's make Brian Regan swear.
That's a comedy writer porn is making Regan swear.
I know. It's just fun for them. So, but yeah, I'm on the road a bunch with Maria, and then I'm doing my tickets for Acme in December are already on sale. I would like to sell out Acme in Minneapolis.
Sure. That's a reasonable
Tuesday
request.
through Saturday. So if you are anywhere in Minnesota, everyone should just retweet it. How about that? Oh, and it's tomorrow's like the last 3 days of my Kickstarter. My comic book may not be made.
You know, here's the thing. Like I've tweeted it a couple times.
You've done what
but
you can.
I think as a person who reads comic book by Patton Oswalt needs a Kickstarter. The first thing is like,
Why?
there's people that have cancer that need my GoFundMe money. You know what I mean?
No,
but,
I'm
you're-
with you.
it's a weird way to publish a comic book by established artists. You
and
know?
an established publishing company. I don't
Yeah.
understand. I mean, it's sort of they've started this thing within Starburn Industries. Mm-hmm. It's part of Dan Harmon's thing.
Yeah.
But he is, of course, can't plug it on Twitter because he's not on Twitter anymore.
Right.
But he also, it's his baby, but it's not.
Yeah.
So you're like, so is it not going to be made if it doesn't get fulfilled? Which would be a drag. But I mean, the art was really cool. So it was,
it's just a weird way to.
It was a
that's
weird
not how
way
you
to do it. I don't know why they did it that way, but it's. I don't have any of the power.
I'm working on a bit about reading Anne Frank to my son.
Yeah.
And so far I've been on 2 shows where people also had Anne Frank jokes. Not the same one at all, but I was like, this is second night in a row I'm the second person to bring up Anne Frank. Why now is everyone glomming onto her again? She was like kind of a hacky punchline for a little while.
Yep.
In the 90s, and then we all just left her alone, and now we're all back in.
Well, I could speculate why, but
What
it would
a
be very
bright
depressing.
Girl, it's
Did you guys finish the book yet?
no, we haven't. We're just reading a couple letters at a time at night.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Before bed?
Yeah.
Oof.
What else am I supposed to read it to him?
Right. I would say something more cheerful before bed.
That's not the kind of people we are, Jackie.
That's right. I forget about the Kilmartin Creed.
He's making a comic book called Dead Boy and a female character named Solus who saves the world by dying. So that's not who we are.
Kyle's in on that kickstart. All right.
Oh
Well,
my God, Kyle, how are we?
47.
Oh no! I don't
Wow.
have any more stories.
You don't have any more stories?
I was listening to My
you
Favorite
go.
Murder, though. They're really good. But
It turns out they're really great.
They're
You're not wrong.
advertising. I'm like, they're doing an ad for organic hair color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So people, like, I think if people listen to us, they would like do an ad for a brush, because I feel like our audience, much like us, doesn't brush their hair. Like Karen and George's audience, they color their hair. They look
Lipsticks
fucking
and-
awesome.
Yeah, they're fucking tricked out.
If we ever get advertising, it'll
Stay
be
sexy,
basic.
don't get murdered.
It'll be
That's
basic.
their damn slogan.
It'll be basic hygiene for
right.
our audience.
Ours is don't get murdered and try to have sex.
Wear
That's our
shoes.
slogan. How about that? Wear shoes. Hilarious. So,
Oh boy! Now you're actually on your iPhone instead of making
well,
eye
no,
contact
I'm doing
with
the
me.
same thing you were doing, which is I'm looking for what gigs I'm doing. So it's Ottawa and then Toronto and Buffalo and what the fuck? Yeah, no, I'm doing a lot of LA stuff this month before we go to Vietnam, which is
Wow.
neat. Oh, I am. Oh, I'm also going to DC and Munhall, Pennsylvania,
What are you doing in DC?
with Maria,
Wow,
the Warner Theater.
I almost had
October
it.
12th.
I almost had a weekend there because I have an veil.
Yeah.
And then I forgot I'm doing a special like show at this conference about grief in New York City.
Wow, that is a niche.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night,
Uh-huh.
so I can do it. But I would have had a like a weekend in DC, and I was going to bring my kid.
And were you going to do the draft house? Was that the place?
I think it was the draft house.
Yeah.
I forget. It's
That's
some
the
room
that's
there.
the fun room.
Yes.
That's supposed to be great. She's doing a what looks to be a theater, and I'm also going to be there. But then we're going to Munhall, Pennsylvania, and then she's going to Bethlehem. Mm-hmm. But I want to come home for at least a day and a half before we go to Vietnam.
Dude, take every gig.
Take every gig.
Take every gig. You sleep later. You turn
sleep
it down
when you're
a
dead.
date with Maria Bamford
I
to
know
rest.
it. I
Fuck
know it.
you.
Fuck
That's
me.
what the plane's for.
Well, we are flying business class.
Oh my God! What you could go straight from the gig to Vietnam if you're going business class. You
Hey,
can
Andy,
sleep.
I'll meet you in Vietnam. How about that? How about not?
You get to rest. What airline?
Korean Air. Wow. So the food's
Oh, I
supposed
bet
to be
they
great.
treat you nice.
It's going to be great. It's going to be real nice. I got a call from Louis Lee, and he was like, "Did you guys pick your seats yet? Business Air to Korean Air?" And he said, "You're going Korean Air, right?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Did you pick your seats? Because you're going to want it's going to be an Airbus.
Oh,
360.
he
He knew what airplane it was going to be. Because he goes,
awesome.
because he goes to Hong Kong a fair amount, and so I was like, how do you know what plane it is? He said, it's going to be a 222 configuration. You want the middle two, you'll lay down flat, but you'll both have aisles, so you won't have to climb over each other to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, and so I go online and I check it out, and there it is exactly that. I picked 2 middle seats for us on each of the flights.
oh my God.
And so
How much? Can you tell me how much that plane fare is?
I think it was like $2,500 each.
That's not terrible.
I think like this whole thing, and I have been for
But
3
how much
months.
was economy?
I think it was like $1,200, so I think it was double.
Okay.
And but the weird thing is I think I might be just making up numbers, because I feel like either the flights were $4,000, $2,000 each, or the tour was $4,000. All I know was that it all sort of cost $10,000, and I've been throwing money at my credit card in an effort to pay it off before we go.
Yeah.
And sort of. But you know, now's the time to go.
Lifetime memory.
It'll be
and
once
part of it will be flying.
part of it'll be flying
I've
well
never
rested.
gotten over flying business class on Emirates to Qatar.
Oh yeah.
It was the highlight of my life. No offense to you or my son, but oh my
our
God,
friendship.
it was amazing.
And to the fact that you had a child. Kira Sultanovich tonight did 2 sets, and I got to see the first one, and she's so fucking funny, man.
yes, she's hilarious.
She was just knocking it out of the park at this at that open space coffee shop over on Cantor's.
You know,
So that was pretty great.
there was like a really good. There's a couple, great articles. Every time like a norm thing happens, there's like these great articles that women are writing, and so someone was writing like, whatever. Norm's really, he's very funny, and there's no reason he shouldn't have a show. But he was pals with Letterman.
Oh,
That's kind of
right.
how he got the show.
Oh, was
and then
it
you're
that's the Slate article?
yeah.
I
Then
read
it's-
that.
It's like, oh, the Letterman, the guy that barely put on any female comics.
Yeah.
So there's no female comics that were in the Letterman pipeline to
Right.
also do a show.
Right.
And in the same month, Michelle Wolf's show is taken off there. Now they're not
Right.
competing shows and they're not alike each other, but it's just like,
It's just exhausting.
can we just fucking have some other voices besides established white male comics?
Designing Women. That article.
Oh, my God,
We
that
didn't
was
talk about
amazing.
that.
Yes.
We have 10 minutes, right? All right. That article was fascinating.
Linda Bloodworth Thomason, the
Right.
showrunner for Designing Women and Evening Shade,
Yeah.
which were huge hits for CBS for a
and
long
she had
time.
a huge deal with them.
Yeah.
$50 million deal, that article said, to make 5 more series. Mm-hmm. And he,
Moonves.
killed all of them.
Yeah. and kind of gaslit her a little bit. Didn't tell her why.
Yeah.
And then you just start to look at how the network changed after a while, and all of a sudden the women were being, they would have a few like co-stars, female co-stars, and then everyone else is corpses in fucking detective shows that have been mutilated. That's how women are being portrayed on CBS. It's really gross.
It was like 15 years
Skinny
of that.
wife to the fat guy, like the Kevin James thing, and just
on and on and on.
Yeah.
And you made the best point about...
That's what I like to hear.
Allow me to laud the Laurie Kilmartin, which is just, you were talking about not only did this affect her career and completely derail her career, because she kept working, because that's what we do. We keep working.
She kept trying. She didn't get anything else on the air, but she kept trying.
Right. But she kept writing and she kept doing her thing, right? Because that's what people do.
She kept writing pilots for CBS, but they were not getting picked up. I don't think she's had anything on the air since then.
What's she living on?
Oh, Evening Shade money. I mean, she has a lot of money. She had a $50 million deal. I mean, whatever. She's got millions and millions of dollars. But the problem is if she had 5 more shows on the air, that's 5 more, at least 30, I don't know. I'm just making up numbers now, but at least 5 lead actresses that have great roles, and they're not, the skinny wife of a guy that shouldn't be able to get them. And you have female writers, and then you're training female showrunners who can then start to do their own shows and stuff like that. And that potential
generations are gone.
Yeah, harvest of female talent, which would include you and me in that age group.
Right.
By the way.
Right.
Is
It's over. And that was the point
Yes.
that you made, that I'm so glad that you just said it again, because it's the greatest point in the world, is the fact that it's 30 women who could have careers at this point at a higher level.
Not that you have to worry about anyone's career, but writing really cool shows that are funny, that
For women, by women, about women?
Yes. And that maybe guys would like, because the women are real, and it's a lot of and then there's other articles that how Les Moonves shaped how women are seen, and 60 Minutes falls under his umbrella, and they shaped how Hillary Clinton is seen, and then NBC's another problem with how they were shaping. It's just like, holy fucking shit! Like we have been raised in a generation where the options of what's viable for a female have been so limited that you either go, oh, I guess I can't participate in culture because I'm 14,
right,
and I can't seem to get down to a 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just be over here in this margin where I live.
Right. I mean, literally, it's slightly maddening. And
yes.
So, and then when you think of the parallel with people of color, and how it's even, just imagine being a black woman.
Right.
I mean, you're just completely,
right.
You're like,
Yeah.
You're just strangling people.
Yes. Yeah, basically strangling them. Yeah.
And, right. And of course, detective shows, genuinely strangling. Actually, literally.
I'm
Or we
sure
don't know.
several extras were murdered during Law and Order, and Les Moonves
3
covered
more
it up.
minutes, yeah.
But I don't know if you feel like this, but sometimes I'm like talking to somebody our age, a male comic who's much more successful, and I just think I look at them and I think, do you ever wonder why you're so much higher up than me? Do you think you're that much funnier than me?
Yeah.
Because you're fucking not. I hope they don't realize I'm thinking that, but I frequently think that.
Yeah. Well, and you see him and you're like, because, Louie's 51.
Right.
So he's,
I mean, if
our
you
age.
start your career and management starts to see you, and they start, people just start rubber stamping and going, yes, and let's get you on this late night show, and let's get you this hour. You start to feel positive about yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm funny and everyone seems to think so. Let's keep going.
They are not wrong.
Versus you're funny, but nobody's interested. And you go, well, I'm just not going to quit. Something will happen, right?
That is exactly.
And so you start to go, well, maybe it's this and this and this and that about me. And it's a different experience.
It's a very different experience, and it just described the last 18 years of my life.
End it now. Not the podcast, our lives.
This is it. Let's get new sneakers.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.